Jojo Part 5. It hurts. It hurts, guys. It's gonna be. Howdy there, Chip Champ. Welcome back to my great manga world. Hopefully, you are having a fantastic day today. And today, I will be ranking every single anime I've watched. And without further ado, let's jump into it. I have watched 37 series of anime over my existence on this earth, and I'm ranking every single one. So first, before we start though, we go over the criteria of like S, A, B, C, D, all that jazz. So S tier is God tier. This is like this series felt like it was made for me. It's near perfection, and I love it to death. This is not since I'm talking about that. This is not about like objectively. There's no way I can objectify any of this. This is all subjectivity and how I feel about it. There's a difference between like how much I like a series and how much I believe the series is, how much the series is like objectively. This is like saying this is how much I love the series. This is like emotion. This isn't like of like logically or objectively. This is just me. Like this is how much I love it, right? So S is like God tier. I could watch this on any day and it would make my day 100 times better, right? A is an amazing series. A is an amazing series, but it's got some problems with it that doesn't put in the S tier, or it doesn't connect with me on a personal as much of a personal level. But A tier still have some of my favorite anime of all time. B is considered great anime that I really enjoy, but they're missing something that's making me not want to put them in the coveted A tier where they connect with me on a personal level. C is just I call mediocre. This is like it's some good stuff. Some good stuff is in here, but it's just right. It's just mediocre. I'm not super crazy about it. D is like I really don't want to watch an episode of this. And then F is like I would want it to burn in the fire of the fairy tale volumes that I so talk about. So anyway, first series we're gonna talk about is Zexel, and I freaking hate Zexel. Zexel freaking sucks. Even as a kid, I was like, the first season, I was like, oh, this is pretty good. But when they got to like the theme park area, I just dropped it. I dropped it like this sucks. Even at like the age of like 10, I was like, yeah, this sucks. 10 or 11, I was like, yeah, no. This is bad. This is a bad show. I I I just really don't like the main character or Astral or the whole story. And where it went is not very good. Hunter. That sucker goes in A tier. I really freaking love Hunter x Hunter. My favorite arc is Your Canoe, and it's just so freaking good. Every arc has an amazing scene in it, and that's just freaking amazing. But what's keeping it from going up to the S tier is because of one thing, and that is the Chimera Ant arc. And I am not a fan of the Chimera Ant arc in the middle part. The beginning, bro, the beginning of the Chimera Ant arc is like freaking amazing. Like, it is probably the best part of Hunter x Hunter is the beginning of the Chimera Ant arc. But once they get finished with the training and Gon loses his nin, it takes a major dip as like all the pieces are like trying to come together, and they spend like 20 episodes just feels like waiting, right? And once we get to that point where like the big payoff moment, it feels like a wet fart. Like it's a great. It ends great, but like it feels like such a wet, like just mediocre from like all the build that we've been building up to. I'm just like, that's how it ends, really? And it's just, it's not. I don't. I like enjoy the ending, but what it was building up towards, I didn't think so. Jujutsu Kaisen's a B. Jujutsu Kaisen's really solid, really great anime. I could really not. It's good. It's really good, but it doesn't have any of like the special stuff that I really want in anime. It doesn't connect with me on a personal level, but like if you watch it and it connects with you on a personal level, then yeah, I could easily see it being an A or an S. But for right now, no, it doesn't connect with me on a personal level like the other series that are going to be up there do. But it's a really solid shonen, and it's it's the best out of. It's not the best. It's the second best. It's the second best of like the new wave of shonen, the Demon Slayers, the Doctor Stones, the My Hero Academias, and Jujutsu Kaisen. It's the second best in my opinion. and it's really solid. But I still think I prefer Bleach to a degree. And I think that's because while I believe Jujutsu Kaisen to be better, Bleach just has that type of personality that oozes from it with its amazing artwork from Tite Kubo, and you can feel the love coming from it. You could still feel the love from Jujutsu Kaisen, but I feel like Jujutsu Kaisen's like a really great show, but it doesn't do anything overly well, and it doesn't do anything overly badly. Bleach does stuff that's like really freaking amazing, and then it's also got some low points. But those really freaking amazing moments make up for those low points. And when Jujutsu Kaisen just kind of in the middle, it's just, not as special for me. Next one we got Konosuba! An absolute classic. Konosuba's freaking amazing. I need to get some light novels of Konosuba. It is a solid A tier, and I love Konosuba so much. Konosuba, with all of its characters who are just awful human beings, is just freaking hilarious to watch them all just interact with each other. The main character's freaking great because he's a jerk, and that's just freaking awesome. Normally we get characters like Gon, who are like little kids who are not perfect per se, but like have a positive outlook on life and just enjoy life, right? And the main character in Konosuba freaking hates his life, and that's just freaking awesome. You don't get to see that a lot. You don't get to see that type of like pessimistic, negative type of character, and I really enjoyed that about Konosuba. And all the characters are like that, Each one's got their own really freaking weird flaw, and it's freaking funny just watching them all just interact with each other. And it's like a big family, honestly, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. If you have not watched it or read it, I definitely absolutely recommend it. And I'm actually gonna put it above Hunter x Hunter because I'm a crazy man. Jojo Part 5. It hurts. It hurts, guys. It's an A. I'll put Jojo Part 5 as an A. I love, 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 love JoJo Part 5. JoJo Part 5 would be my favorite JoJo part if it wasn't for the ending. Once we get to the Coliseum, it just like, I don't know what Araki was on that day, but man, it started sucking really badly with the arrow, like Deus as Machina, and just no. Not a big fan of the ending. But everything up to that point is like my favorite parts in JoJo. Every single thing about Part 5 except for the ending is my favorite part of JoJo. It's just, I love it so freaking much. I love the characters. I love how they work. I love the gangster. I love the Italian. It's just all works for me except for the ending. And it makes me really sad because it was such an amazing show up to that point, and to just get like a cop out ending like that just made me really sad and stops it from being my favorite JoJo part. Oh, Black Lagoon. We got our first S tier, boys. Bro, Black Lagoon is freaking amazing. If you have not watched Black Lagoon, watch Black Lagoon. You will not regret it. I call Black Lagoon the adult isekai, and you may be like, the adult isekai? It's not even an isekai. Well, it is a story about a office worker who was given a box to deliver. But on the way to deliver his box, he gets kidnapped by the company called Black Lagoon. And the company Black Lagoon wants his box, right? To sell off to someone. And he's kidnapped, and he is pretty much killed off. Not really, but like he's like told that he's dead. His boss is like, I don't care if you come back. You're worthless to me. I should just get another worker, right? And the Black Lagoon guys are like, I mean, you can stay with us. I mean, I really don't care. And he's like, if you don't come back, we're gonna say you're dead. And like, are you fine with that? And he's like, yes. So then everybody believes he's dead except for the people in the Black Lagoon company. And he is so drastically different compared to those people. He just makes them different, everybody different, and just it's really freaking enjoyable. I love Black Lagoon so very much, and I have a video coming out, or if it's come out, I'm not for sure, about the moment that hit me in the feels the most. Like, holy crap, that scene was nuts. But anyway, um, Black Lagoon's a freaking amazing series. Go check it out if you haven't. And I need to buy the manga for it. This is like a must read for me on the manga because the anime, there's a couple, I believe there's like a volume or two that's not covered in the anime, and I need to check it out. Another one, we have Cowboy Bebop. That one's a B. People say like the older you are, the more you'll love Cowboy Bebop. I think Cowboy Bebop's really good. It's just really good. I enjoy Spike as a character. That's about it. I mean, I enjoy it a lot, but it's not enough to like be crazy, you know. Doctor Stone, baby. Doctor Stone's the best new shonen anime out of the four I was talking about. Doctor Stone does something very unique in this shonen demographic, I believe, with its science-based improvement of stuff. While the others feel like they take from certain series, Doctor Stone's feels like a wholly unique idea in series, and I really enjoy that. It feels like a series that I've never seen before, and I crave that, you know? Jujutsu Kaisen feels like Bleach, you know, with its demons and stuff, but it's its own unique thing, right? But it's got that Bleach thing, so it's like, oh, I mean, I've sort of already seen this, right? Doctor Stone doesn't do that because of its power system of slowly growing through the science, and that's just freaking awesome, and I really enjoy that. Next one we got is Promise Neverland. Promise Neverland, I'm talking about the anime first season. I have not watched the second season because I've heard it was bad, and I really don't plan to watch it. But the first season, this is the first season. Like I said, I haven't watched the second season. First season's amazing. Really enjoyed it. If we were talking about the second season, if I take a shot in the dark, it'd probably go down to C. But like I said, I haven't watched the second season yet, and I don't really plan to. So this is just the first season, and the first season's a B. Gundam Wing is a C. I really enjoyed Gundam Wing a little bit. It was very slow paced, really slow paced, but like the dub, oh my god, the dub. I was like 12 watching it. I was 12 watching this on like Hulu, and like I was laughing my head off listening to some of the dialogue in the series. It's just, oh my word, it's bad. It is like dog crap bad, but like in the best way possible. For some reason, the main character keeps trying to kill himself, and like the main girl like falls in love with him because like he keeps saying he'll kill him. Like there's this infamous scene. They're in this ballroom, right? And then he walks outside, and she's like, God, oh my word. She comes out and like just comes out of the ballroom and just see what's going on. And he walks past her, and she's like, "I love you," and he's like, "I'll kill you." And it's just, I'm laughing my head off because just how stupid the dialogue is. It's bad. It is freaking bad, but like in the best way possible. If you want some stupid dialogue and some stupid hilarious crap, just watch Gundam Wing. It's got some really funny moments, but overall, watching the whole series, I probably wouldn't recommend it. Just watch some clips of the of out of context of the Gundam Wing dub, and just enjoy it. Like there's a part like he jumps out of his helicopter, like purpose a helicopter, his mech, and like tries to purposely kill himself, like off a mountain. Like he has this thing where he purposely keeps trying to kill himself, and it's not like sad or dramatic, like oh my god he's killing himself. No, it's freaking funny because it's of how bad the dialogue is for it. It's just like, are you kidding me right now? It's funny. I'd recommend clips of it. On the other hand, Gundam Seed Destiny is just plain boring in my opinion. Both series, I really don't care about the political aspects of it. Because of that, I'm not a big fan of it. But I do enjoy Gundam Seed a little bit more because of its plot. I can understand a little bit better, and the just awful dialogue and the awful dub. Digimon seasons 1 and 2 are also B's. Those are freaking great series. I love Digimon to death. I would say Digimon is a lot. The animes are a lot better than Pokemon. Easily. I'm actually gonna move this up to a B. Easily better than Pokemon. I really like the story, the characters, and what they do in it. And even the new movies, the Digimon Tri movies, are really, 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 really freaking good. And the anime is really freaking good too. Seasons 1 and 2 are really freaking good. Let me rephrase that. On the other hand, Digimon Tamers is Frontiers dog crap. I hate Frontiers with a passion. It's just boring. It's just boring. That's the best way I can explain it. With it's just boring. That's the best way I can explain it. It's just it's like I said, it's just boring. I have a hard time watching it because it's just not a lot really happens and the characters aren't that interesting. And I'm just like I said, I'm just not a big fan of it. Beyblade, on the other hand, is no, Beyblade's not better than Wing. I'll say it's better than Seed though. I'm like, I can hear people like that. What? You like Beyblade more than that? But yeah, Beyblade Metal Fury, the whole Metal series is just really, really decent. That's the best way to describe it. It's really, really decent. For a anime trying to sell you toys, it's decent. It's above average. But like Gundam Wing, the English dub is dog crap. Whether you got the big fat dude with the the bull Beyblade, he's like bull, or like the guy with the wolf thing, like pulling up his glasses, it's just like talking weird. It's bad. Or the infamous scene where the bird Beyblade gets broken and he goes like freaking crazy and go yeah. It's a bad dub. It's a bad dub, but it like in the best way possible, and I enjoy it. As a kid, I was like seriously deep into it. I was like, oh my word, this is crazy. And the dub was good in my opinion back in the day, but now it's like, no, this is bad. Uh, it's like a bad dub. But the and now I enjoy it more. Like the story is actually pretty decent. Like I said, it's pretty good. But the the nowadays I enjoy the dub because of it how bad it is. And the series' story is still really good for the time and what I believe, but it's like I said, it's just solid enough as a series, and the dub just makes it better because it's bad. Death Parade's pretty solid. I'll put it above Cowboy Bebop. Really good series. It's got a reference to Death Note if you like Death Note. Don't go into it expecting like to be a sequel to Death Note. It just got like this one little tiny reference in it, and it's a solid series. It's about death and how people grieve with it and how people deal with that type of stuff. And it's really solid, but not exactly what I was looking for in a series. Oh, we got another classic. We got GTO. Freaking love GTO. It's better than Black Lagoon. GTO is freaking amazing. If you haven't watched GTO yet, watch it or read it. The manga's technically better in my opinion, but the series is freaking amazing. Either way you watch it, and has changed my life a bunch, and I greatly appreciate that for GTO, and that's why it'll always be an S tier series. Pokemon is a C, nothing amazing, nothing too awful, mediocre. The first three seasons are the first two generations are great watching for any age I would say, and then the third season's really good, especially for little kids, and then season four, past season four is and season five's really generation five's not that great. It's like bad. I would say it's bad, and I grew up with it, and I would say it's bad. And then Gen 6, I hear Gen 6 was the best season. I mean, the best, couple seasons with X, Y, and Z and stuff. But I never watched that, and I really wish I would have during that time because now I'm so burnt out on Pokemon that I don't even want to touch it. But I wish I would have watched it when it was airing. Because what I hear from the XYZ season, it was like, it was the real stuff, right? But yeah, so it's a C for me. JoJo's also a C. I'd rather watch Pokemon than JoJo Part One. But JoJo Part One is just fine. It's like I said with Digimon Tamers, it's boring. But it's got so like sometimes like it'll be boring and like something crazy happen. You're like, holy crap, what just happened? And it brings it back up a little bit. But yeah, I really wouldn't want to watch JoJo Part One again, except for like maybe the first couple episodes and like the final two episodes. But those four episodes in the middle is just really hard to get through. JoJo Part 4, another classic. Let's go. JoJo Part 4 is my favorite part. If it wasn't for JoJo Part 5's ending, it would be my favorite. But JoJo Part 4 overall is a really solid series and is my favorite JoJo part. If you have not read it yet or watched it, I would just watch it by itself. You really don't need any of the other parts to watch it. And I know I'm gonna be burned on the stake for it, but yeah, just watch Part 4 by itself. It's easily the best one over all of them, and my personal favorite. Skate the Affinity! I really enjoy Skate the Affinity. As a skater boy who said see you later boy and wasn't good enough for her, I really enjoyed Skate the Affinity. It has like it does a really good job at capturing like the skater aesthetic and like the fish islands skateboard type of thing. And like I said, as a skater, well, specifically a longboarder, I really enjoyed that part of Skate the Infinity. And if you're not a big fan of skateboarding, I think you think the show is good and you would enjoy it. But if you're a skater and you like really want something for a skateboarding anime, this is the only one out there. And I would absolutely recommend it because it's really good if you enjoy skateboarding. Past that though, it's just a good series, and I would still recommend it. But especially if you're a skater, I would recommend it. Death Note, easily an A. Really enjoyed it. I'm gonna actually move Jojo Part 5 in front of Hunter x Hunter. Death Note's really great. I really, really, really love Death Note. And the beginning's really freaking amazing. Everything up to the point where a certain character dies, it's freaking amazing. But the way they had to make the character die, was just like they went out of their way for just a weird way. He shouldn't have. They shouldn't have died the way they did, because it just felt like such a cop out. I'm like, really? That's how y'all decided to kill him? It just no. Mm-mm. And everything past that just feels like it's still great. Mind you, the series is still great, but like it feels like they take a lot of liberties to get to a certain point. So this character dies or this moment happens. I'm like, it doesn't seem realistic compared to the first part of it, which was like really realistic and people just going out of their way, and it felt very character driven. The second part of it felt very plot driven rather than character driven. The characters moved to the plot in the first part of it. In the second part, the plot drew the characters, and that made me really sad. Because the characters are the best part about Death Note, easily. But the psychological stuff was, oh my goodness, it's amazing. Dragon Ball Super is a C. I enjoy Dragon Ball Super to a degree. The first three arcs are really, really rough, I would say. The first three arcs are really rough. But once we get to Zamasu, which is my favorite arc, the Goku Black and Zamasu arc, it picks up really well, and then it dips a little bit in the Tournament of Power. I really enjoy the Goku Black and Zamasu arc due to like the darker themes, seeing Trunks again, the future, and watching Goku Black and Goku Black and Zamasu's downfall into darkness was just such a freaking great thing to watch. And I love Zamasu. This is Zamasu arc, and it's one of my favorite arcs in all of Dragon Ball. Period. Even though it's got a lot of plot holes, and the anime is weaker than the manga version, but it's still a really fun watch. And so is the Tournament of Power. It's just I would have liked a little bit more story in the Tournament of Power than what we got, because it just felt like they wanted a reason just to have a bunch of people fighting. But it's still really good. Dragon Ball, best version. I mean, the best way to watch. I mean, the best. Oh my word! Dragon Ball is the best one out of all of them, easily. I absolutely recommend the original Dragon Ball, especially for a beginner. I feel like if there weren't any like perverted moments with like their humor, I would say Dragon Ball would be great for anybody of any age. But due to the perverted moments, you may have to check that for yourself and make sure your kids don't watch it, or see if it's good enough for your kids to watch. My dog's barking in the background. But anyway, Dragon Ball is really, really great, and I absolutely recommend it. And the King Piccolo arc is absolutely amazing for what it is and what it does. And watch Dragon Ball if you haven't yet, or if you're Ennis, just quit after Volume 9 because you're weird or whatever. But Dragon Ball GT, it's also a D. I'd rather watch GT over Digimon. GT has a major problem in the beginning where it's just dog crap. It's like, okay, if we're talking about the first arc in GT, it's F. It's an F. I would never, ever, ever, ever watch the original arc ever again under my own volition, unless I was doing a video or something like that. It's just bad, really, really bad. But then we get to the baby arc, and the baby arc's really, really good. And then we get to the Super 17 arc, which is pretty good. And then we get to the Shadow Dragons, and then it just like it goes really bad again. Like, oh man, this sucks. And then at the very end, once we get to the Sun and Ice Shinron, and then Omega Shinron, it becomes great. The best part of GT is the final parts, the very, very end of it, with the Sun Shinron and Ice Shinron and Omega Shinron in the ending. That part right there is the best part of GT, hands down, no lie. It is the best part, but it's not like amazing or anything. It's not worth slogging through the whole series to get to that point. But if you're already watching GT, and you want to get to that point, the best is at the end, which I really appreciate. The ending and what it says about the series, and the final little bit of it is definitely the best part of it. But I still think the baby arc is probably the best arc in the whole GT series. But I prefer the Shadow Dragons ending a lot more over Super Baby's arc in general. Monster, freaking love Monster. It's got some problems. Actually, I'm gonna put it above everybody. Monster has the Monster the anime has a big problem of pacing. The pacing of the anime is really, really, really slow. But the series is really freaking good. If you like Death Note, you will love Monster. Easily. Easily. Easily, you'll love Monster. It's a psychological thriller about a doctor having to go and murder one of his patients he saved back in the day. And everybody's like trying to stop him because he's a really, really good person. And to see him go down that dark path is something nobody wants him to see or do. So we watched this all happen. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Would absolutely recommend it if you haven't watched yet. We got another classic, Mob Psycho 100. Mob Psycho 100 is my favorite anime of all time. Easily, 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 easily. I love Mob Psycho with a burning passion, and it is my favorite anime. The first season was amazing, and then season 2 was just like absolutely god tier amazing. Oh my word, I love season 2 very much. But I love the series in general a lot, and absolutely recommend it if you have not watched it yet. It is a must watch. Digimon Tamers is a C for me. My main problem with Tamers, I'll put it above Gundam Seed Destiny, and I'll put it above Beyblade. Fine. My main problem with Tamers is that it's very slow. If it wasn't slow, it would easily be the best arc. I mean, the best season of Digimon, but it's not due to its very, very slow nature, and it makes me really sad because I really, really enjoyed it. If it wasn't so freaking slow, I just kind of dipped out about a couple episodes in because it was boring. It was just very slow. It wasn't boring. Let me rephrase it. It wasn't boring. It was just slow, and I'm not a big fan of slow stuff. Frontier is boring. Digimon Tamers is slow, but still really good. If you probably will think it's better than the original series if you've watched it, but it's just too slow for me to enjoy it. JoJo Part 3, pretty freaking great. I really enjoyed JoJo Part 3. The JoJo Part 3 is how I started out on anime. Well, not really. I started with Mob Psycho, but then I moved to JoJo. And I really didn't like JoJo. It was just kind of like a show I enjoyed. Like, fine, I'll watch it. I had nothing else better to watch after I finished Mob Psycho 100. And I watched like the first 10 episodes. And I was like, it's fine. It's nothing amazing. But then we get to the hotel with the ventriloquist dummy, and I'm laughing my head off. My brother's looking at me crazy, like, what the heck is he laughing at? And I'm laughing at the freaking dummy. I'm like, this is hilarious. What was this guy on when he wrote this? I'm like, I'm loving every moment of this. I've never seen this before in my life, and I love every moment of it. And that's when I started to love JoJo, was at that part. And then the season 2 of part 3 is freaking amazing. Oh my word. Season 2 of season 3 is just amazing, and I love the ending very much. But overall, though, it's got a lot of slow moments, and it's very repetitious. I believe the other arcs, in the other future seasons, do it a lot better with like JoJo Part 5 and Part 4. One Punch Man's really good. That's all I can really say. For me, One Punch Man doesn't do what I need for an anime to like become like my favorite, which is what all these are in here for. I really enjoy these series, but they don't have that specific oomph that makes me say I love it, right? For me, I need one of two things in an anime. I need an escapist. I need to escape from my daily troubles, or I need to be looked at by my troubles and say, hey, you need to fix yourself. And the series that I have above right here do that for me in one way or another. These right here may like scratch a little bit of that itch, but it doesn't like. I'm not like actively like excited to watch an episode, right? It's like, okay, yeah, I'll watch an episode because I have nothing else to do, right? But like here, I click an episode of this, and I'm like, oh man, I'm ready for the next episode, right? This is like, all right, let's go to the next episode, right? This is like, I want to watch another episode. But, not saying any of these are bad, it's just, the kind of thing where you're like, you're watching and you're just kind of like, maybe like there's a tiny grin. But like if I'm over here in the ANS, I'm like, full undivided attention, right? I would watch these with like, well, except for maybe like Monster and JoJo, I would probably watch. Well, a couple of these I would watch like actively, but most of these I would watch passively, but I would still enjoy it. This is like I'm working on something really hard. C tier is like I'm working on something really hard, and this is going in the background. This is like I pull out my phone while I'm watching the show. This is I have my full undivided attention. But yeah, One Punch Man's really good, really solid. First season's great. Second season's very good. Um, it doesn't scratch that itch I need for an anime to go up to the ANS tier. But I know for some people, it is, and I completely understand why. Part two is also a B. I really enjoy part two's Joseph Joestar, really great character, and I really enjoy the Germans and the vampires and all that stuff. And all the really okay, this is where Jojo got really freaking weak, wacky. It was just weird, but this is definitely when the weirdest Jojo part is probably part two, from what I've seen of it of the animes. Jojo Part Two is easily the weirdest of the bunch, and I really enjoyed that part of it, and would really recommend it. But it's not my favorite. We got another classic, boys! Golden Boy! I freaking love Golden Boy. Golden Boy's freaking amazing. It's only 6 episodes. If you haven't watched Golden Boy yet, I've done a video on it. Check it out. Watch the series, and it's worth all 6 episodes. Golden Boy is the series I've binged the most. I've watched the series over and over and over again. It's got a similar style as GTO, so if you've watched GTO or if you watch Golden Boy, vice versa, check them out. But it's basically about this character who wants to learn about the world, and the way he does that is by doing jobs as an intern. He goes to a job, and they're like, "Okay, cool, welcome to the job." And they're like, "Man, he's kind of decent at it." And then something bad happens. He's like, "Oh, he's awful at the job now. I hate him. I don't want him here anymore." And then he leaves because he's done doing his job, and they're like, "Hey, where'd he go?" And then he's like, "Holy crap, he's actually an amazing person who did a great job on his work." And then they go run after him and try to find him, but he's already gone. And it's just great. I really enjoy Golden Boy, and it's like GTO helped me shape me who I am as a person, and would recommend it easily. Honestly, anything above B is a recommendation easily. Here's another one, Hajime no Ippo. Love Hajime no Ippo. Hajime no Ippo is one of my favorite anime of all time, and is an absolute recommendation if you have not watched it yet. I made a video on this recently. Check it out. And I did a video on Golden Boy, like I said. Check that out too. But this is just, oh my word. I can't put it into words at the moment, but that video put it into perfect words of why I love Hajime no Ippo so freaking much, and why you should watch it. Just go into any of these blind. Honestly, go to any of these blind and you'll love it. But yeah, I love Hajime no Ippo. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Generation Next. I love GX. I love GX. The dub is really good too, but I really like GX. It's not my favorite season though, but I really enjoy the darker tone of it. When I was younger, I was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool and dark." That's what I liked about Yu-Gi-Oh. It was a darker version of like Pokemon. This is for real men, right? Real boys. But it's just really good. I really enjoy like the darker themes of it. The original Yu-Gi-Oh had a darker tone where it was like, "Oh, Shadow Games, you're gonna die if you try to steal the money or whatever." It was just a had a darker tone. GX has darker themes, where like in season 3, where he becomes the Dark King and loses himself and takes over the whole kingdom, and like the zombies and them living on a deserted island where the dual monsters are real, and dealing with the trouble and the awful stuff that happens in it, where everybody dies and stuff. It's really dark, and I really enjoy it because of that. But I think the original Yu-Gi-Oh is better. Nostalgia talking, not necessarily. I started with GX first, but easily Yu-Gi-Oh it's a tough. I could flip flop on both of those every day, but the best season of Yu-Gi-Oh is easily 5Ds though, and it hurts me to say that because I it, I have so much nostalgia for the first two Yu-Gi-Oh series, but 5Ds is definitely the best version of Yu-Gi-Oh. If you have not watched 5Ds, it's really good, especially for a card game anime. I really love the dystopian future. I like dystopian futures, but like I really enjoy the dystopian future of it, and the characters and card games on motorcycles, freaking great. And yeah, all three series are really good. But Zexal is not. I have not watched Arc 5, and I really don't plan to. And I believe there's a new season of it, another season out there. I don't even know anymore. But I really don't have any plans on watching either of those because I've dipped out of Yu-Gi-Oh! But I really don't think it's going to get any better than those three series right there. And final series we have is Bakugan. We're going to put that in C. It's been a long time since I watched Bakugan, and I probably wouldn't watch it now. So I'm thinking about putting in D. No, I'll put a C. I'll put a C. I'll put a C. I'll put it a C because I still remember having good stuff on it. But yeah, that is the tier list, boys. I have the whole thing listed out. What is your tier list? I would love to hear what you would rate these, if you would change anything, or if you have your own tier list, link it down in the comments below because I would love to see it and get a conversation started. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day, my beautiful, beautiful Chimp Champ. And as always, go out there and read some manga, or in this case, watch some anime, my friend.